Something's going on here. I see the name Lizzie Black, but I don't see Lizzie here. Oh, there you are, Lizzie.
Hi.
Oh, there you are. Awesome. And Keenan is coming in here as well. Awesome.
I think so. Yeah.
We should have both you guys here at this point. Oh, you guys shouldn't be muted.
I was telling my mom to.
Oh, your mom can be, your mom, I can listen. I can hear your mom too. It doesn't matter. All good. All good. How are you making out today, Lizzie? How are you, Keenan?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Happy New Year to you guys. Oh, well, I've seen Lizzie once already, but first I get to see Keenan. And what I might do right now is, because you guys are doing dual stuff, we'll see what I can do to change the screen so I can see. I've got a big Lizzie and a small Keenan and a small Michael. You don't really need too much Michael here. So let's see what we get here. Oh, goodness, now you guys are view. Let's see what we've got here. View. Let's see Gala. Oh, there we go. We've got a trio here. Awesome. So tell me, Keenan, how was your Christmas?
Good.
Excellent. You had a good Christmas break?
Yeah.
Excellent. Did you do anything special or get any interesting gifts or anything?
We had a lot of family over.
Nice. Was it some good food and nice visiting and all that good stuff as well?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And Lizzie, I know you've had a good holiday. Now tell me, Lizzie, did either of you have snow days again today, or?
Yeah, it's my third day in a row.
Third day? You too? Oh my goodness, that's wild. Well, you know what? I think it's a good thing that we're having Zoom lessons anyways because of that. So let's pick up where we left off here. Now, my feeling is, I believe I have things organized. Michael, please tell me that you got things organized. Okay, let's just see. Can I be assuming that we finished off on page 80? Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so first and foremost, our goal is to get from 81 to 85 today. So if you can go to 85, and put today's date on, which is January 7th, 26th. Put that down. Okay, so let's back up though a little bit. So let's look back on page 80. For figuring out key signatures, I probably had you guys write a little tool that I like to use. The Father Charles Goes Down and Ends Battle thing. Does that look familiar on page 80?
Yep.
And then Keenan, you can just check here and let me know if you've got it on yours as well.
I have it written
Somewhere else?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the previous page.
Okay, so page, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to remind you how this works. There's this thing called the circle of fifths. It's the circle of fifths basically means that each key that we move up by a sharp or a flat is 5 notes away. So if we think of C major, we need to know C major has 0 sharps or flats. C, D, E, F, G major has 1 sharp. G, A, B, C, D major has 2 sharps. D, E, F, G, A major has 3 sharps. A, B, C, D, E major has 4 sharps. In theory, when we only go up to 4 sharps, there is a reason why it's not anything for you guys to worry about right now, so I just suggest we'll just know that we go to 4. Likewise, we can go backwards 5 letters to go in the direction of flats. C, B, A, G, F major has 1 flat. F, E, D, C, B flat major has 2 flats. B, A, G, F, E flat major has 3 flats. E, D, C, B, A flat major has 4, and that's where we stop. Any ideas why we call those ones B flat major, E flat major, and A flat major, where we don't say sharps on the other ones? Anybody? Any ideas? So I used to be exactly the same as you, but really the reason why those flats are there is the scale of B flat major has B flat in it. The scale of F major has 1 flat, which is B flat, so B flat major is a B flat in it. We can't call it B major because there's no B's in the scale. There's only B flat major. There's only B flat. On E flat major, there are no E's in the scale, so there'd be no sense to call it E major, E flat major. Likewise, when we do the sharps, E major has 4 sharps. Father Charles goes down. Is there an E in Father Charles goes down? For the first letter is anyways? No. So that's why we call it that. So if that, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So on page 80, we're writing key signatures. So on question 4, what I'm going to ask you to do for page 80, have you guys both completed page 80?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then I'm going to ask you, Lizzie, to read out the answers to A, B, C, and D for 4A, B, C, and D.
A major,
Yep.
E flat major,
Yep.
C major,
Yep.
F major,
And then Keenan, E, F, G, and H.
E major,
Yep.
G major,
Yep.
A flat major,
Got it.
D major.
Sweet. Now, if we go back to that little tool thing, that Father Charles thing, that little tool thing can be extremely helpful. Why? Because it's, first of all, really quick and easy to write. F, C, G, D, A, E, B, Father Charles goes down and ends battle. I also circle the letter C to represent the number 0. C major has 0 sharps or flats. Sharps move to the right on a keyboard, and flats moves to the left on the keyboard, which is why I have the sharps moving to the right and the flats moving to the left. And that actually gives us the number of sharps or flats. If there are 4 sharps, we still have to start, though, at the beginning. 1 sharp is F, 2 is FC, 3 is FCG, 4 is FCGD. And likewise, if there are 4 flats, it's B, BE, BEA, BEAD. And what does that word spell?
Bead.
Bead. And that's how I remember. The order of sharps and flats never ever changes. It never goes Father goes. It's Father Charles goes. Father Charles goes down. We can't mix and match, and we never mix and match sharps and flats. So that key signature helper is my tool that I use to help me to know how to do the key signatures, and I find it extremely helpful. Plus, like I say, you can draw it in about 15 or 20 seconds on a piece of rough paper, and you can surefire get your key signatures that way. Extremely helpful. There are other methods of finding key signatures. Lizzie and I talked about this at her lesson on Monday. So, if a key signature has sharps, and you can't draw this, and you can't remember what the key has, look at the very last sharp in the key signature. So in the example that they show down at the bottom, there are 3 sharps. Father Charles goes. What is the last sharp? Somebody. Father Charles goes. Father is the first sharp. Father Charles is the second. So it's got to be somebody. G sharp. Go up a semitone from G sharp, somebody, and what letter do you get? A semitone higher than G sharp.
A sharp,
A sharp is a whole tone. A. G sharp to A is a semitone. The key is A major. So the last sharp, if there were 2 sharps, Father Charles, what's a semitone higher than C sharp?
D.
Yep, that's the name of our key. That was the one we were talking about. Do you remember, Lizzie, in your sight reading? Yep,
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so that works for finding key signatures with sharps. Let's look at our new work on page 81. For key signatures with flats, as I say, I always use the little tool that we were just talking about, the Father Charles things, but if you're looking and you see that there are a number of flats, you find the second last flat. So you have to find the second last flat. So in this case, we have to be able to read from left to right that the first flat is B, the second flat, which is higher, is E, the third flat is A, and the fourth flat is D. Can you guys see that that kind of goes left to right, even though they're going zigzagging back and forth? B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. What is the second last flat, somebody?
A.
A flat, that's the name of the key, A flat major. If there was B flat, E flat, and A flat, what is the second last flat? If there was B flat, E flat, and A flat, what is the second last
flat?
flat? E flat, that's the name of the key. If there was B flat and E flat, what is the second last flat?
B flat.
B flat major. What if there's only a B flat? There's no second last flat, is there? So you have to memorize, it says on the top of page 81, the second flat from the end of the key signature is the name of the major key. However, you will have to memorize the key of F major because it has only one flat. Keenan, I know you have played pieces in the key of F major with B flat, so you should be able to recognize that already. And I think I mentioned this to Lizzie at her lesson on Monday. Ideally, you want to memorize all of the key signatures. You don't want to have to use tools at all. You want to know A major has 3 sharps. B flat major has 2 flats. You want to know those things right off the bat, but the tools are going to help you at least get through things to get started, but eventually we'll do that. And trust me, I will make sure you guys know your key signatures inside and out. By the time you write your exam, we'll do flashcards and all kinds of things. You'll be well versed in your key signatures. Okay, so here's our exercises on page 81. We're going to do the first line together because I want to make sure we get through as much work as we can. Question 6. For each key signature, write the name of the major key below the staff. So that's where you put it on the horizontal line. Then write the tonic note of the key on the staff using whole notes. Now, there are many ways that you can do this. I don't care which way you do it as long as you get it right. You can use the second last flat and the sharp thing. You can use the Father Charles Goes Down Dan's Battle tool on page 80. You also can go back to page 79, and on page 79 it just happens to have every answer on page 79 with every key signature with sharps, okay? I don't care which way you do it as long as you do it, okay? So what I want you both to do is let's work on question 6A, the first line. If either of you are having troubles figuring out what the key signatures are for the first line, let me know. But your job is to write the name of the key signature. So I am going to do the first one as an example. There are 4 flats. Does anybody have any idea which major key has 4 flats?
A flat major.
Absolutely. So I name it like that, A flat major. When I draw the tonic note, I can draw any A of my choosing. That's the tonic note. Do I need to add a flat beside the note as an accidental? Yes or no?
Yes.
You do not, because the key signature takes care of the flat for us. So that's what the first answer is. A flat major, and I drew the A from All Cows Eat Grass. You could have done the Good Bears Deserve Fish Always one too. So try and finish that line off. When somebody has finished the line, just say, I'm finished.
I did the first line before I joined.
Okay, sweet. So Keenan, read to me what you got on the first line.
A flat major.
Yep.
B flat major.
Yep.
E major.
What did you say for the third one?
E major.
E major is the very last one, actually, with the 4 sharps.
Oh, C major.
1 sharp.
Is it G major?
It is G major. It is G major. So the third one is G major, and the fourth one is E major. Hopefully your answers will look something like that. You'll notice we always use capital letters when we name major keys, and in Canada we mark them with plus signs for the word major. If you are in the US, you don't usually have to do that. And some countries, they want you to write capital M or MAJ and all kinds of different things. But in Canada, we use plus signs. That is page 81. We're going to jump right over to page 82. And this one, they get you to do a little more work this time on page 82. For each of the following keys, write in the key signature and the tonic note using whole notes. So the very first one they ask for is D major. The first thing I need to know is how many sharps D major has. So somebody, when you've got that figured out, tell me how many sharps D major has. And you can use any method you wish to find out the key signature. I don't care how you do it as long as you find me.
2 sharps.
Who, pardon me?
2 sharps.
2 sharps. Which sharp goes first?
The very top one.
Yep,
Top
the
line.
F sharp, and goes around on the top line. Every good boy deserves fun. The F sharp goes on the top line, and the second sharp is
The second last line. Or space.
the third space. Absolutely, Father Charles, FAC. And what is the tonic note of D major?
D.
It is a D, and your answer should look something like this. So every good boy deserves fun. F sharp, FAC for the spaces, and the D on the fourth line, or you could draw the D down below the first line too. That is a good one too. What if you drew the F sharp in the first space for face for the key signature? Would that be right?
No.
Unfortunately, it is not right. You are correct, Lizzie, because we have to draw the key signature the same always. The key signature never changes. The F sharp is always written on the fifth line, and the C sharp is always written in the third space. It does not matter what we're doing in the treble clef. So I'd like you guys to see if you can get through the first line. Once somebody is through the first line, say so. And if anybody's struggling with anything, please ask me as you're going through the work. And it's just the first line. Once somebody's done the first line, let me know.
I think I finished it.
Okay, so what did you get for E flat major? How many flats?
3.
3 flats, which are,
In the middle line.
yep, B flat,
The top space.
E flat,
And second space.
A flat, B flat, E flat, and A flat. And the tonic note is
E.
excellent. Where did you draw your E?
The top space.
Awesome. And Lizzie, have you done the G major one yet?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you get for the key signature?
I put it on the top line.
Excellent. Every good boy deserves fun. F sharp. And what was your tonic note? And oh, and by the way, how many sharps did you get for G major?
1.
Yes, exactly. You did. And then what's the tonic note?
G major.
G. And where did you draw your G?
On the second line.
Excellent. And Keenan, what did you get for C major?
Nothing.
Excellent. So you leave it blank. And where did you draw your tonic note?
Middle C.
Absolutely. You could draw middle C, or you could do FAC on the third space. All right, that's that question, which I believe is question 7. If yours got, the 7 got hole punched, you can add a 7 to that one. Question 8. Write the key signature on the correct lines and spaces of the great staff for each of the given keys. So they're asking you to write it on both treble and bass staffs. This is where page 79 is very, very handy, because if you take a look at page 79, they are written on the great staff as well. So you got the treble and bass staff right there. So I would like you guys to both work your way through the first line. I'm going to go over this. So it says, write the key signature on the correct lines and spaces of the great staff for each of the given keys. Does anybody already know what F major has? if it has 1, 2, 3, or 4 sharps or flats.
One flat.
One flat. And so what I do is I draw the every good boy in the treble clef, good bears in the bass clef. And so I do both the treble and bass staffs immediately. And so that's my key signature for F major right there. Okay? So what I'd like you guys to do is work your way through the rest of the first line. So you have F major, A major, E flat major, G major, and A flat major. And handy, you can always look up, like I'm looking at the top line on page 7, and you've got the key signature written also for E flat major in the treble clef. You've got the key signature for G major written in the treble clef. And I don't know if I mentioned one extra little thing that is extremely helpful. If you have to draw key signatures on the grand staff, and the B flat is written on the third line in the bass, or sorry, in the treble clef, which line in the bass clef is the B flat written on?
What?
The B flat in the treble clef is on the third line. Which line is it in the bass clef?
Second.
So it's exactly one line or space lower. So if you draw it in the key, I'm going to jump to the E flat major one, and I'm going to copy from question 7 the B flat, E flat, and A flat from the top line. So I've copied, there's my E flat major from the previous one, and there's my E flat major there. I can literally move everything down by one line or space to get to the bass clef one. So my B flat goes down to the second line, the E flat, third space, and the A flat, the first space. It's literally one line or space lower than it was in the treble clef. So that can be very handy and helpful, and that goes for every single key signature, whether it's sharps or flats. Let me know when somebody has finished the whole first line. Let me know when somebody's finished that first line there. And in case somebody's saying something, I see you're both muted as well. So if somebody has finished the first line, please let me know.
Sorry, I just finished.
Okay, awesome. And so while I've got you there, how close to you are you finished, Lizzie? Are you pretty close to being
I don't
finished?
really understand how to do it.
Okay, and you're on page, and you got your page 79, yes? You got page 79 open?
Yeah.
Okay, the key signatures are all here. You literally copy the key signatures. It's copying. Yeah, that's as bad as it gets. So keep working your way through it. What I'm going to ask is, well, we did the F major one already. It's got B flat. For A major, Keenan, what did you get for A major? How many sharps?
3.
3 sharps, and the names of the 3 sharps are?
Treble clef or bass clef?
Doesn't matter. Just the names of the letter names. Like, is it A sharp, D sharp, F sharp? What's the first sharp? The letter name.
Uh, the very top line.
And what name of the note is that?
I don't know.
What's the saying? What's the saying?
Good boys.
Father.
Father Charles goes and ends
Nope.
battle.
You named the three. Father Charles
Father Charles
goes.
goes.
And so what are those three sharps names?
FCG.
Got it. Lizzie, have you got the E flat major one figured out now?
Kind of.
Okay. How many flats did you give E flat major?
3.
You got it. Excellent. And what are the names of the three flats?
B flat,
Yep.
E flat,
Yeah.
and A flat.
Excellent. And G major, Keenan. What is the name of the sharp or sharps?
A.
The order never changes. So who's
Or F.
F sharp? Absolutely. And A flat major, Lizzie, when you are ready.
4 flat.
Yep. And the names of those four flats are? It spells
E.
out. Yep.
B flat,
Yep.
E flat,
With B flat, what was the second one?
E flat,
Yes, the third one?
A flat,
Yep.
D flat,
And what word does it spell?
B.
Bead. Absolutely. Very good. Awesome. That's page 82. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going to page 83. So page 83 is getting us a little closer to what you might do in a test situation. It says major scales using key signatures. For the following major scales, ascending only, so we're only going up, it says first play the scale at a keyboard. I'm not going to test you out on that right now. Don't worry about that. Then write the scale. Then play what you have written. Does it sound correct? But we can use our knowledge of things as well. So each one is in two halves. One is the scale of F major using accidentals, and then you do the scale of F major using a key signature. For B, D major using accidentals, D major using a key signature. So here's the process to write this scale. We find an F to start our scale on in the treble clef. The best F to probably start on is the F in the first space. Otherwise, you will end up with a whole bunch of ledger lines. So we draw the note F right after the treble clef. Now, how many notes does a major scale have in total?
4.
There are 2 tetrachords, tetra meaning 4, so it's 4 plus 4.
8.
There are 8 notes in a scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That was 8 notes in total. So I'm drawing my notes by step from F up to F. So F is in the first space. G goes in the second line. A goes in the third space. B goes in the third line. And I will show you the first tetrachord right now. So you can see the first 4 notes of my major scale. And I continue to step up. The hardest part to remember is sometimes we have an accidentally that we add a 9th note, or we only do 7 notes. So we have to be careful to stop. And also, every now and then I'll see a student skip a line or a space. So it has to go space line, space line, space line. And so you should end up with your final note being around the top line. And hopefully everybody's scale is looking like that. Thumbs up or a nod of the head. Awesome. So now, we need to know what F major has in its key signature. Does anybody just remember off the top of your head what F major has in its key signature?
FACE.
There is the FAC, but for the key signature, what name of the sharp or sharps or flat or flats does F major have? If you're not sure, look back.
There's 1, right?
It has 1. 1 what?
F.
It has 1 sharp or 1 flat?
Flat.
It has 1 flat. And what is the first flat It spells the word bead. The first flat is
B.
B flat. So now we have to find the B flat to add it as an accidental. F, G, A, B flat is the fourth note, and I put a flat just before the fourth note. And I have to put it before the note. So then, if you're doing this at the piano, which again, I'm not testing on it right now, I would go to the piano and test it out. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, and F. Got it. That's all that you have to do. Okay, now the second part says rewrite the scale of F major, use whole notes, use a key signature. So where do we place the flat if we're using a key signature? Do we place it beside the note, or where do we place that B flat? Somebody.
Near the treble clef.
Near the treble clef. So I go every good boy, and I write the flat over here. Then you literally rewrite the scale. Do I have to add the accidental in now?
No.
Nope, you do not, because the key signature takes care of it. So I just go F, G, A, B flat, but I don't have to put the flat beside it. C, D, E, and F. And my work is neat-ish. So there's what my F major scale should look like with a key signature there. And hopefully yours looks the same as well. Everybody's on the same page for that question?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we're now going to jump to question 10. This one, write the following major scales ascending only using a key signature. So now it's asking for the scale of B flat major. Again, I don't care how you figure out the key signature. You can look back on page 79 where every answer is in front of it for you. You probably have B flat major answered on pages 80, 81, and 82 somewhere as well. Can somebody tell me what B flat major has in its key signature? How many it has? Obviously it has flats.
Two.
2 flats. And what are the names of the 2 flats, Lizzie?
B flat and E flat.
You got it. And so we write the flats like that in the treble clef. Hopefully that's coming through. I think you're getting residue of other stuff on the other pages. Can you see the B flat and the E flat?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of, yeah. It's the double-sided paper. Okay, and since I have to write them only going up, I'm going to find a B flat to start on. No matter what I do, I'm going to have to use ledger lines. I'm going to have to use 2 ledger lines if I write the B on the every good boy, and I'm going to have to use 2 ledger lines if I write the B flat down around middle C. So it's up to you how you do it. I'm going to start my B on the 3rd line. I always draw it as whole notes first. You may notice that it does say to use quarter notes. I do that afterwards, actually. So what I end up having is I end up with my 8 notes, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Then I color every note in to make it a quarter note. So I'm just going to color them all in. I haven't even added stems yet. So I've colored in all the notes. Now, did both of you decide to start your B on the 3rd line, or did somebody decide to start your B around middle C?
I did it on the 3rd line.
I did it on the 3rd line because you said so.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so all of them, well, I guess the 3rd line is allowed to go in either direction, but after the 3rd line, how should all the notes go with stems? Up or down? Down. So let's make it rule of majority. Let's make all the stems go down. And they are approximately 3 lines long. Since they're quarter notes, we don't have to beam anything. We just draw stems. They all should look like letter P's. So when you're finished your scale, it should look something like this. And if you did draw an up stem on the first note, you're still okay. You're good. And that is your scale of B flat major. We're almost through the work. Where is my page 84? There it is. Okay. Page 84. This is where things get a little more interesting for added fun. Major scales and meter. Because most music is a combination of pitch and meter, i.e. beat and rhythm, we'll begin now writing scales using time signatures and bar lines. In order to do this, we must remember what we learned about time signatures, unit beats, beaming, and proper grouping of notes and rests. So I'm going to read boring stuff on page 84, but at least there's no work on the page, okay? So it says, compare this example of the scale of D major, written without a time signature and with 3 different time signatures. So the only difference in the feel of the scale is if we're using a time signature, you will feel a bit of an accent. So here's D major written without a time signature. Here it is written in 3/4 time. Could you feel how the rhythm was a little different? A little bit from the first one? Here it is in 4/2 time. I'm going to stop playing. It's really getting boring. You can hear the difference in that. 4/16 time. Now, here's where things get a little interesting. These scales have been written, you'll see a time signature written after the treble clefs. These ones they did accidental, so they added the F sharp. Did you notice in the D major one, the C sharp was written on the 7th note, but then they have a little asterisk beside that one, and then below it says, notice that the C sharp on the 3rd beat does not require an accidental. Why does it not require a sharp? Or why didn't we have to put sharps going down in the first one? Why did they only draw the F sharp and the C sharp going up, but they didn't draw the sharps going down? Why does
Because they stay the same unless you add a natural.
Or a natural or a bar line. As long as there's no bar line to cancel it, so that C sharp, there's no bar line to cancel it, so the C sharp stays sharp there. Do you notice how the F sharp did have to be repeated though? On the 3rd note and then the 3rd last note, because the bar lines canceled it out there. Now, take a look at the 4/2 time one. This is where life gets a little bit weird. We have to make sure every measure is complete. But if you draw 4 half notes in every bar, by the time you get to the last bar, there are only going to be 3 notes left. So in the 3/4 time one, it works beautifully. No need for a rest. But in the last bar, we have to add a rest. We have 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves. The measure must be complete, so we have to add a half rest. In 4/16 time, it works the same way. Now, if you were to beam your 3/16 notes together, like they beamed 2 and then did a separate, doesn't matter whether you beam them or not. You can beam them or not, but the last one, because there's only 3/16, we have to add a 16th rest. So the hints at the bottom of the page, I'll be fast. Hints, pay close attention to the given time signature. For now, we'll use only notes that are the same as the unit beat given by the bottom number of the time signature. So notice, if it's 3/4 time, you'll draw quarter notes. If it's 4/2 time, you will draw half notes. If it's 4/16 time, you will draw 16th notes. If beams are needed, make sure you group the notes properly. I'll remind you, the little time signatures, which are time signatures with 16 and 8, we usually beam everything together. But by the time we get to quarters, well, actually, you really don't have to worry about it because quarters are going to be in quarter notes and half notes are going to be in half notes. So we shouldn't have to worry about that. The final step, really important. If your final bar doesn't have enough beats in it, complete only that bar by adding proper rests. That is page 84. All right, last but not least, we're going to look at page 85, and we've gotten through the 5 pages. So I don't know if your copy has this because there is a typing error. It says, write the major scales starting on each of the given tonic notes. Ascending only, use time values that equal the unit beat, add appropriate bar lines and rests in the last bar. Did your copies end up with the words use accidentals on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because they forgot to tell us to do that. So I'm just letting you know to do that. So we are in 4/4 time writing the scale of D major. What I suggest that you do again is I suggest drawing the notes from D up to D in whole notes to start. So you see where the notes go on the staff. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and D. I always put in a double bar at the end of my scale if they have not put one in for me. So that's what my work looks like so far at this point. Then We're in 4/4 time, and it says use time values that equal the unit beat. Hint, they drew the first one for you. What kind of notes are we using? In 4/4 time, what does the bottom 4 represent? And hint, the first one they did for you. So it should be pretty easy to figure it out.
E?
Is it a half note, a whole note, an eighth note, a sixth
Quarter
note?
note?
A quarter note, absolutely. So we draw quarter notes,
Okay.
and so you have to color them in and add your stems. And when you reach the third line, you can choose whether that first third line one is a stem up or a stem down, and then the other ones should be stems down. So you should end up with something that looks kind of like this. Now we are not finished yet. We have to figure out what D major has for its accidentals. So what does D major have for its accidentals?
G
And-
major?
Sorry, D
So it's
major.
G major?
We're looking for the first note of that scale is a D. We need to find out what D major has.
G sharp?
It has sharps.
On the top line?
The sharps never change in their letter names. I need to know how many sharps D major has.
1.
G major has 1 sharp.
Oh, I thought you said G.
Nope, it's D. D
2.
is in dog. 2 sharps. And what are the names of the 2 sharps?
F sharp
Yes,
and C sharp.
absolutely. And whose name is that? F, C.
Oh,
whose name is
Father Charles.
Father Charles. And if we're using accidentals, we add the sharps beside the note. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. And now your scale should look like this. Guess what? You're not done yet. We are in 4/4 time. So for every 4 quarter notes, we need to put in a bar line. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I pop in a bar line. Does each measure add up to 4 quarter notes? Yes, no, maybe so. Are there 4 quarter notes in each?
Yeah.
There are. So we don't need to add any rests. That's what it means, add appropriate bar lines and rests in the last bar if necessary to make it musically correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now my D major scale is complete. And just before, because I know Marshall is going to be arriving very shortly, we're going to look at question 12. We're going to try and do as much of question 12, the first one, as we can. Write the major scales ascending and descending. And does yours have using accidentals?
Yeah.
Awesome. Add appropriate bar lines and rests in the last bar if necessary to make it musically correct. Place the letter T under each tonic note and D under each dominant note. So I'm going to go fast. Scale of A major using half notes. I start by finding an A to start my scale on. F, A. I'm going to use the A on the second space. I will need to use ledger lines, but I will only need to use 1 if I do that one. If I do the lower A, I have to use more. So I go A, B. Remember that you have to write it ascending and descending, so space your notes out a little differently. E, F, G, and A. So now I'm on my, that's only half of my scale written. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. I'm about the halfway point. I have to write the scale descending as well. G, F, E, D, C, B, and A, and I throw in a double bar line at the very end because they did not put one in. So my A major scale, ascending and descending, should look like this so far. All right? Now, I'm going to do the accidentals. So can somebody tell me what A major has in its key signature? And be careful, there is A major and there is A flat major.
3 sharps.
3 sharps. And what are the names of the 3 sharps?
Father Charles goes.
Absolutely. So I go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. Now, I'm not going to put in any sharps descending yet. Marshall is in the waiting room, so I am going to let him in, but I'm going to finish this scale with you. So I'm just going to let Marshall in right now. Okay, so we're going A up to A and back down again. I'm not going to add the sharps going down quite yet. We're in 3/2 time, so I have to make them into half notes. So, hi there, Marshall. I'll be like 2 seconds, okay? Hi, Braylon. All right, so I'm making them into half notes right now. 1, and so all I'm doing is adding stems to all of my notes here. We're just finishing up a scale, Braylon and Marshall, and we'll be ready very, very, very shortly. Hi there, Marshall. How are you doing? Giving me 2 seconds here. All right, so my scale looks something like this in half notes. Now, I'm going to draw bar lines after every 3 half notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I can see that my G sharp, I don't need to add a sharp for my G sharp, but I do need to add sharps on the way going down now to my F sharp, 1, 2, 3, and my C sharp, 1, 2, 3. My sharps look really messy. You should find that there are 3 half notes for every single note, or for every single measure, so you do not need to add rests to this one at all. Then the tonic note is the first note of the scale, it is the highest note of the scale, and it is the last note of the scale. So you should end up with T 3 times. First note of the scale, highest note, and last note. And the dominant, somebody, Lizzie or Keenan, what is the dominant note? What letter, what note number is it? Tonic is the first note. The dominant is the... It's...
E?
It is the E. So is it the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh note? Dominant is...
5th?
It is the 5th note of the scale, absolutely. So we must label it from the bottom to the top, A, B, C, D, E. And likewise, on the way going down, we have to go backwards, A, B, C, D, E. So the dominant should be an E both times, labeled with a D right there. And that gets you to page 85. We did it. Have an awesome rest of your week, Keenan and Lizzie. And before you go, Lizzie, did you decide on a part for your duet? Part 1 or part 2?
No.
Okay, so Keenan, I've put your duet, your vocal duet to sing with Lizzie in your YouTube playlist. I asked Lizzie to pick her part
I
1
might
or
have
part
forgot about it.
Okay,
I
no
can do it
worries.
after this.